Hello guys, JP here, and today I kind of have a new series idea. So what the series idea is, it's kind of like an unscripted, long story sort of like content sort of thing. So pretty much what it's gonna be is sort of like my kind of like an extension to my shorts, my short form content more specifically. Except I'm gonna have like a lot more time to, actually talk about certain stuff. Like say for example, what is up with that purple-haired anime girl that is everywhere in my Minecraft world? So this is kind of like I would say sort of like one of those say for example the Reddit stories that you see, except like a lot longer. Well, maybe not exactly the Reddit story, but I think you might be able to get where I'm going with this. I'm gonna be just talking about say for example, stuff on my world or, any questions that people might have. Not just about my world, but maybe like about me or like about certain stuff that I'm known for. But I guess since this is the first episode of this series, we're gonna start with like the obvious question of who is she? But yeah, also while I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I'm gonna just be having some gameplay in the background, like maybe, for example, building or like fighting something, maybe the wither, or just running around. But let's get straight to the video. So, you might be wondering if you've seen any of my streams or like my short form. Who is that anime girl? And why is she absolutely everywhere on my world? Well, if you've been on my streams before, you've probably heard me say something around the lines of like anime and things or Lucy or something like that. So I'll probably show like a thing on screen in a second. But so anime things itself is literally just an anime story that I live by. But as you can tell, there's a lot more to the story going on here. So why is their mascot all over my Minecraft world, and what is going on here specifically? So it comes down like a good couple of years ago now at this point. I gotta think of the exact time frame. It's currently like early May as of recording this video. Weave Tower was constructed in like June of 2023, I think. I gotta remember the exact time, but it was like something like that. Yeah, this world is old, like very old. But back to the point. So when the tower was getting constructed, I was trying to figure out like what do I want to put on the side of the tower, just so that way it's more than just, any other old building. So I think the first obvious answer that I could have thought of was, just some random pixel art or something, which is what's going on over there. The question was, what pixel art did I want to do? Because at the time, the world was on Xbox, and I didn't have much access to pixel art programs or any of that kind of sort. Of course, now at this point I do, because I'm obviously playing on PC, but I was only working with an Xbox and a phone with super strict parental controls. It kind of sucked. But back to the point. So it comes down to one very lucky event that managed to happen. Basically, why that specific mascot was chosen for the tower was because I got super lucky with a school event. So for context, my school was doing a 100 days sort of celebratory thing or whatever. And within that event, there was a spin the wheel type of thing. Well, actually, there's like a series of little mini games or whatever. But pretty much you had to get pretty lucky with it too. Like one of them was flip a coin and hope it landed on the right thing. Another one was rock paper scissors with teachers. So it was kind of luck based, but at the same time, it was just like a fun little gimmick kind of day. So what does this have to involve with anime and things, and what does it have to involve with, any of their stuff. So it's kind of funny how it happened. My school happened to have one of the gift cards that they sell over there. So when I was just trying to figure out what to put on the side of my tower, the thought came into my head, if I somehow manage to get one of their gift cards, then I might be able to do a few things with it. Actually, no, that's not really exactly what happened. What really happened was I got lucky enough to get one of their cards partially on accident, but not really. I kind of just saw it and I was like, ooh, let me grab this, because why not? And kind of just went from there. So now that I had one of those gift cards, yeah, I still have it to this day. And once I got a hold of it, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try my best to recreate this in Minecraft. And if I can get it looking good, then I might do something with it. So I spent literally, I think, what was it, like a good 5-6 hours, maybe, just trying my best to recreate the logo in like a creative test world. Of course, by no means it's perfect. It's kind of scuffed, but you know, I had to start somewhere, right? Especially for something that I'm pretty much hand drawing into Minecraft. So that's kind of how that came about. Now, if you've seen anything else about my world, obviously the story doesn't end there. Because, yeah, my world might or might not hold the title for having the largest anime and things reference. That being, you know, the fact that she's literally absolutely everywhere. Oh yeah, I probably should have mentioned this, but we do have a confirmed name for her actually. Confirmed by the store owner, she is named Lucy, which pretty interesting. But yeah, back to the point. Why was this one little project the start of, you know, a whole lot of her being everywhere? um, about that, I might have, I might have gone a little bit overboard. Maybe a little bit. I sound like a crazy person, do I? Honestly, even I don't really know how I managed to decide to go absolutely nuts like this. I think it just came as like an afterthought or something. Like maybe I was just thinking, hey, you know what? Like since I'm already doing this, I might as well just, you know, push it a tad bit further. And that's what I kept doing. I kept pushing it a tad bit further. And now we're here. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of something going on here. Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, but I'm pretty sure just like the tower itself, yeah, it is a giant like anime and things reference. It's gonna stem something, but there's actually one more thing inside the tower that I would argue is what really caused everything to start going crazy. And for that, I have to get to the tower, which we're gonna do a little bit of cheesing. There's no cops around here. No one's gonna notice. No, we're just gonna go here, off the side of the road. Cause, you know, again, cops. It's my world. Actually, I do need to drop off a bunch of stuff over here, so I might as well do it while I'm at it. If I can find where I want to go. Here. Yeah, this is also my storage area, which I don't have an automatic system because it would be too much lag. But, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go up to floor 18. This might take a while. I suppose while we're going up this elevator, if you guys have any sort of like ideas of like what I should talk about, whether it be in my world or, you know, just anything else, make sure you leave down a comment. And yeah, gonna try this out because I can. But here we are, floor 18. So you might read the sign and see an all familiar name. And you look here, and there's a whole map art. Yeah, I would argue that me doing this is actually what started stemming everything else. Because, yeah, you can put like a random logo of something on the side of a building. But, you know, if you have the entire store recreated into it, then, yeah, then you might be pushing it a little much. But you can actually see where the map art's actually built because I have a super high render distance. But yeah, after I built that, it was just kind of a thought of how far can I go before the store found out about me? And yeah, I can go pretty far, turns out. So fun fact, between the tower getting built and August 23rd, 2025, which would be the date that um, Anime and things would find out about everything. Actually, it would be August 25th, technically, but August 23rd is when it actually started to go in that direction. But it would take a whole, like, roughly 2.5 years, something like that, which for a world increasing in size the way that it was, that would be kind of surprising. Because I've shown my world off to like many people over the years, mostly like friends on Discord, even my English teacher one time, who happened to have some ties with the store, which actually kind of surprised me. I thought like then and there the tower would have gotten found out. Surprisingly, it didn't. But anyways, just over the years, the world itself would end up getting a lot bigger. I gotta get some sand. I gotta fill that in. But I'm getting too ahead of myself. But yeah, over the years, world gets bigger and, you know, it gets a lot crazier. So I think the next thing I gotta mention is the actual city of Itsu itself. Because if you check on the map, um, if you look a little bit carefully, you might or might not be able to see it. So yeah, I quite literally decided to spend upwards of 11 months just deciding to make a whole city that was like designed to look exactly like the logo. Why? I don't know. Why do I do this stuff? Because I can. It's kind of random, I know, but like, you know, if you got a big Minecraft world, you kind of have to do like more crazy stuff. It seems like I feel like a lot of like large Minecraft worlds, they just try to like outbuild themselves every single time. But I don't know. I feel like that's just what I've been seeing. But back to the point. I decided to make the city literally a giant anime and things reference because yes, I was already trending towards like that path of I'm just gonna throw as many different references into this world as I can. So I think it was just like another continuation of that. But as far as that goes, I feel like it turned out like really good. Like honestly. I'll kind of try to explain what I mean as I like get into the city. Actually, I gotta repair my pickaxes. I gotta find my like farms and all that. But they're like a ways away, but we'll kind of just go into the city because why not? But yeah, main reason why I think the city turned out like super well is this kind of shot right here. This is heading northbound on Highway 9, and if you got like an extreme render distance like how I do, and you look over this direction, it honestly just looks insane. Like like the city itself is like honestly not to, you know, just do my own horn or anything, but I feel like I did pretty good here. Like it genuinely looks like a really like well-built city. granted, there's a lot of like random stuff in there, like that, and that, but you know, it's a city. It's what you'd expect out of a city. But the thing that makes this city a whole lot different is just the way how it's built, because it's the largest confirmed anime and things reference. I'll show up the original plan and the current map probably right now, and you'll see what I mean as like how it turned out. I know I showed the map earlier, but this is kind of just to show a comparison over like, you know, the area before and like the area now. Because yeah, there was some stuff that was existing in this area before it got built over. But yeah, as the city grew larger, so did all the anime and things references. And so did many other references. Like down here, for example, we got freaking Vocaloid buildings. And there's a Miku building somewhere around here. I don't know that. And then, of course, another anime and things reference. Another Lucy, if you will. Yeah, after all of that, then there comes the resource pack, which, yeah, I have the whole resource pack. I don't know why it's saying broken or incompatible, even though we're fine. I'll have to look into that, but it's working fine, so I think it's just Minecraft. I don't know. But yeah, I decided to just like look into trying to get a totem if I'm dying texture, which I figured out how to do pretty easily, and now we have one, and it's kind of expanded to more than just a totem. I have their logo as the sun texture, and then I have like 8 different ones for like the moon. Because, Minecraft texture for the moon is like 8 different images. It used to be one sprite sheet, but now it's separated. Allowed for more customization. So if we see here in probably a good couple of minutes in game for me, that'll probably be like 2 seconds for you. You might see what I mean. Yeah. So we'll go back to the original question that I was asking. Like why did I decide to, of all things, why an anime store? And for the most part, I just felt like it. Like literally, there's no like true rhyme or reason to it, but like it's kind of just one of those like you have an idea in your head and you decide to stick with it kind of ordeal. Of course, with my case, it went so extreme that like not only do I have a large Minecraft world, but I also am on their radar. So, but that will be a story for a different video, probably the next one, or maybe a different one, depending on how people think of this series. I know it's kind of scuffed, but I mean, I'm trying something new here, so we'll kind of just see how I decide to play around with this series a little bit. But I think for today, that will be it. Yeah, I'll be trying to do this a little more. Again, we'll see how this goes. But I will see y'all later.